All right, Monday the 9th around 12:30. Let's do a quick recap. The new group hit the ground running this morning. It was an awesome day. First of all, let me quickly go over the trades that I took and was able to take screenshots of using the Blue Wave Precision Auto Trader. Again, to those who don't know, this is a different company. Their website is in the description below. And this software just helps me because I'm trading a number of markets. I'm trading private equity. I'm answering emails, Telegram. So I need something to help me, and this is just a great software for that. So about an hour and a half after I posted the alerts, oil triggered at 74.65 and grabbed its target. At the same time, actually, gold triggered as well, and I missed that trade because I set up the box. I forgot to enable the arbitrator, so that was on me. But this morning, again, after gold went below the trigger and came up at 1879, I was able to grab that trade. Let's see what else. So next is, so for the first time today, I included the Russell, and the Russell hit its target. Looks like shortly, no, before the open, 8:30. Even though really it's been very difficult to trade the stock indices before the open, it just things happen very slow and things get very choppy. I still think best thing to do is for stock indices to wait until the U.S. Open at 9:30. But anyway, let's take a look. This is the ES hitting its target. Again, I like to trade with a pivot as my stop. It's hard to see here, but the pivot was actually below this. I do understand most people, this is just too big of a stop. And I imagine then you would get stopped somewhere around 6 points. You see, it's hard for me to advise on a stop because it's such an individual thing. But I guess if you put a gun to my head and you said, well, I need to give me a hard stop, forget pivots, give me a hard stop. In the S&P, I would say 6 points. So 6 points would have stopped you out. But then, of course, as you know, right now we're trading around 39.70. So a trigger at 39.35, you would definitely have made up the 6 points you lost and hit the 2 point target of $100. We're going to see the larger charts in a minute. Next, the Nasdaq, of course, and this is close to the open. The trigger was 11,192 or 190. Was it 190? I have to see. Either 190 or 192, doesn't matter. Hitting its target here. And after the Nasdaq, for the first time, I included the YM. And the YM really almost no hit at all, hitting its target, $120 here. By the way, I just want to make one point, but that chart is in a different workspace, so give me 1 minute. So this is the chart, the Nasdaq chart that hit its $120 target. I just want to make a point. I am not using market replay or sim accounts. Those of you who own the auto trader know that yellow border on a configuration panel means that it's never a sim account. It's either a cash account, a funded account, or at the very least, an evaluation account, but it cannot be a market replay account. I don't want you to think I'm loading up data and showing you something after the fact. This was real-time trade that I took, in this case, in a funded account. You know, this is not a magic store. There are no tricks. Okay, everything I show you, if you've been following me since from the Blue Wave channel, you know everything I do is in real time, and I only use funded accounts unless I say otherwise. But in this case, all the trades were taken in a live funded account. Anyway, let's get back to the other workspace. Okay, so NASDAQ, a buy at 11,191 or a sell at 1180. The short never triggered, but the long triggered, and of course from 11,191, the high so far is 380, but you are looking for 5 points. Remember the plan. Remember the power of $100 per day per contract. If you did not see it, watch the video from last week about how to generate $30,000 per month in trading. It's a step-by-step approach, and it takes, depending, anywhere from 10 to 12 months. But this is the plan. That's what I suggest you stick with, because here is the danger, right? So there are two things that get in the way of most traders of being successful. Number one is fear. Number two is greed. Now, with these alerts, after a while, your fear is going to decrease. After you see day after day what happens with these alerts, your fear will start to decrease. But what might increase, which is just as dangerous and potentially destructive, is greed. Because all of a sudden you'll be looking at this and say, but why take only 5 points when I can take 50 points, 100 points, 150 points? And there was this voice is going to start just, hold the position. When you're not ready and you're trying to do that, what will end up happening is that you're going to go from a winning trade, instead of being done with 5 points, have a winning trade, you're going to try and hold on. And if you're not ready, the winning trade becomes a losing trade. And now you are angry, you start breaking your rules, you start revenge trading, and it could lead to a disaster. I know this looks beautiful, but those who have been trading for more than 5 minutes know that this is not an average day. It is not an average. Such a directional market, it just shoots up 150 points. That's not an average day. And if you just teach yourself, if you have the discipline to just grab your $100, increase account size, go to 2 contracts, increase the account size, go to 3 contracts, step by step. Again, if you did not see that video from last week, $30,000 in profits, watch it. Anyway, let's get to the ES. So the S&P was a buy, 39.35. Obviously, the short side never triggered. 39.35, and the high so far 39.72. And in the S&P, you're just looking for 2 points. So as I mentioned before, if you were stopped somewhere, here, if you tried the initially, I'm not sure exactly where it was, but if you got stopped out, let's say you lost 6 points, definitely on this move, you'll make up the 6 points or whatever you lost, and then still make your 2 points or your $100 per contract. Let's go next to the Russell. So the Russell was a buy at 18.15 over here. So even when it initially hit, it gave you your 20 ticks in the Russell to reach the $100. Went below the trigger, came right above, gave you another opportunity. If you did not take the first one, you had the second opportunity to grab your $100 on the Russell. Let's take a look at the Dow. So the Dow was a buy at 33,890, 33,890. And again, you really probably should wait to be as close as possible to the open. If you took it anywhere here, it's hard to tell. On this initial break up from 90 to 20, that's 30 ticks. So you only need 20 ticks in the YM to hit your $100 per contract. You should have gotten it. If somehow whatever happened, you either did not take it or got stopped out. There was another opportunity and even a third opportunity, and this trade was a beauty, just getting slightly below the trigger. And this is ideal because if you're looking at the pivot, your stop would be very tight on this opportunity here. It went below the trigger and then came up. Again, definitely more than 20 ticks you would need to hit your target. Next is the CL. Right, crude oil was a buy, 74.65. Well, in the case of crude oil, it was late in the middle of the night when was the last opportunity to get long. But then look what happened during the session. Look at this. Comes down, just kisses the target, the trigger. And that's what I mean. The numbers I give you are not random. There is a reason why markets need to come and test specific areas. That 74.65, they just barely touched it and shut up like 30, more than 30 ticks, like about 70 ticks very quickly. And again, in a case of oil, you're just looking for 10 ticks for your $100 per contract target. And finally, let's look at gold. All right, so gold was a buy 1879 or a sell at 1863. I don't think the short side triggered. Nope, but the long side triggered shortly after I posted the alerts. And this is the one I was talking about I missed. I missed this move because I forgot to enable the auto trader. They come down again, basically just kind of not quite actually touch. They did not quite touch the trigger. Here, they touch the trigger and go up. I don't think anyone would be trading at this time. But then, I guess, closer to the US session, there were these numerous opportunities. So this is 9:45 in the morning where they just dip below and come out again. And after you reach your target, dip below, come out. Another opportunity if you somehow missed all the other ones. And currently they are below the trigger. So the one last thing I want to just show you is the breakout. So I was talking the breakout box trades, which is this BOB. So that's real time. I instruct the members. Well, I shouldn't say instruct. I guess I give an opportunity to the members who want to take the breakout box setup. And so basically what it is in real time a 10-point spread, which is the equivalent of, let's say, if you draw a box, 10 points in width. And if price breaks through the top, you take a long, price breaks through the bottom, you take a short, and as always, you target $100. So the first one, let's see, the first one was here, and I ended up canceling it. A price never came down. I was hoping it would, but it never came down to this 145 to 135 area in the NASDAQ, so I canceled it. Second one came in, and I said 325 to 335 and enabled both, and that one hit. And as a matter of fact, I have a screenshot from a trader. Hold on. So this trader owns the BWT auto trader. So he created a box, right? It was 325 to 325, and he created the box, and the long side triggered, and he hit his target. It's still an experiment. It's on sim, and in my notes I insist on it being in sim because there are some challenges with this approach in real time because I need to be ahead of price to give you guys an opportunity to draw the box, and I cannot adjust the box once I give you the numbers, which is what I do in my own trading. So I want to see if it's something I can do consistently, so you can be profitable consistently. Let's say at least once a day there should be a breakout box alert. So it would be just another tool you can use. It has nothing at all to do with these alerts that are given in the evenings of every day. This is just real time, draw the box and be ready to take a trade. And this trader did. So great. So this is the channel where basically we're testing it out. This is the channel where members are going to share charts and thoughts and whatever else they're facing during the day, a lot of success stories. And if there are some challenges, we definitely want to know that. I'm always looking if anyone is struggling. If you are a member, even though it looked like it was a great day, but if you struggle today, I definitely want to know about it. Because as I said, my goal is for 100% of traders in this community to be profitable. Which just brings me to one last thing. So as of right now, there are 42 subscribers, and I said I will only take up to 50 until I know for a fact that everyone is profitable, because I don't always have the time. I'm into a lot of different things, so I'm going to stop at 50. I'm not going to take any more members until I know that everyone who is part of the original 50 is profitable, and then we'll take it from there. Yeah, so if you have any comments, please leave comments, please leave a like, please share the videos, it helps the channel. Email me if you have any specific questions, it's in the description below. And thank you.